tutors see clear objectives on that page? Do you know what student needs to learn from this page and how to go? And then, well, test stories included. Whenever we upload certain pages, tutors clearly have to know about the objectives, and also our students need to feel at the end of the class, I got something from this teacher. They don't realize at first, but at the end, students realize that I get to learn something. Even though our material is not that specific about these objectives, but good tutors figure out what I need to teach with this page. What do I need to get through to each student? So at this point, what I'm concerned is, first we're thinking about some ways, how can I let our tutors know the clear objectives of each page, each material? But we have quite a lot of materials, right? So developing that kind of material takes a lot of time and energy, so we actually depend on each individual tutor's ability to come up with this kind of objectives. So I want to know about especially arts know-how. How do you do this kind of thing? I know that conversation starter has this kind of objectives, right? When you go through that at the end, and critical expressions of words, so tutor instinctively figure out what I need to teach with this material. But other than those systematically developed materials, how do you do this? How do you see these clear objectives on each page? And it highly depends on the student's level, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Students low level, your objectives should shift lower. It should be lower down. But if advanced student, your objectives should have to shift to the lower.
The answer is always like,
I think it depends on the student's level. Like after having the class, I think before ending the class, you should put there. These are the things that I want to improve in you. Let's say your pronunciation, and then this kind of stuff's here. So you have to let him know. And then the next time that you're going to have the class, so focus on that one, and let's see if there's some kind of an improvement. That's what I do.
Actually, sir, when we say clear objectives, you can actually see this one, but we cannot have any light to decide. Why, sir? From the very start, like after finishing lab, you can see there, sir, the course, wanted course of the students. So you will have the slide idea. Say, for example, speaking and listening, or a story speaking. So when we say story speaking, I will have this, like take on my mind that the student, she wants to learn reading, and then part of the reading, sir, you have to tackle on pronunciation and vocabulary, and after that, like what's this? The things to improve. Yes, the things to improve, sir, is the comprehension, and then the manner of speaking, because that's the one that works. But if we want to say like your objective every day, we have to be very particular with the topic too. Say, for example, sir, but it depends on the book, because if you're using like totally true and can you believe it? Actually, the objective, sir, is quite complex. You have to check the comprehension. You have to check the vocabulary. Yes, there is a vocabulary enhancement activity. So at the end of the lesson, sir, stick to your objective. Did my student understand the story? Did my student understand the vocabularies that we used? Did my student able to retell the story? So that's the common objective. It depends, sir, on it depends on the book.
Large categories, I meant specific expressions and words student needs to learn from this, student to get from this slide. That's what I meant actually.
But you will tackle this one, sir.
To be able to effectively to do so, we need to systematically and naturally expose our students to that specific expressions in context over and over the whole course of the class naturally. And you briefly mentioned that expression, I get the picture now, right?
Yes, sir.
You told the students about it.
Yes, sir.
When did the student finally get the picture of what we're trying to do? When did the student understand?
Actually,
the
so
expression of the context?
right after my student asked me, because I can see the expression of the face, that actually she was blank when I said, oh, I can get the picture. Maybe she took the meaning of my sentence literally. I mean, in a literal way. I get the picture of photograph, get, like this one, okay. So I explained immediately, I am sorry. The expression that I use is an idiom. When I say idiom, actually, those are group of words wherein they have specific meaning. It does not mean that I get the word picture. I'm not talking about the photograph. So I said, sir, every time the student would always offer me this blank face, I need to explain clearly.
Exactly. The first time the student was clueless, but then the second time she gets some kind of sense, and the third and fourth time she finally realized that this means this, and that's how good tutors make our students learn naturally. And
But
we
the
need to
problem is
systematically-
she's always using it now. Picture. Teacher, I get the picture. So stop, teacher. I get the picture. Okay.
At least.
At least.
But we have a lot of useful expressions and words, right?
And
So
Sir
what I'm
Sam
thinking is,
is very good with idioms. Every time she sends me messages, sir, I need to browse.
That's what happened to the rich man.
our tutors also need to do that.
Yes,
That's how our students are supposed to learn. For example, the expression, I get the picture, but it could be some kind of word like this, something like that. This word is my objective word. I'm going to let our students understand what this word is for and the meaning of this word. So during the whole course of the class, we can systematically expose our students to this word. Thank you for enlightening me. Can I enlighten you about something? Why don't you enlighten me?
Picture, sir. Sir Sam means that we have to get the focus. So not all of them, but at least like you have to get at least three solid idioms or sentences. Wherein that's your focus for today. Sir, I can get the picture now. What you Yes.
Into that.
Yes, sir. I get
Good
the picture.
tutors know our students
Get the picture.
is to learn this way naturally,
Yeah.
as naturally as possible, and a lot of useful
And
expressions.
for me, it really feels good when the student, when he or she is speaking, he uses idioms as well. It's like challenging a lot. You learn from
Like example, like if you mention like, oh, it's raining cats.
Yeah, teacher was really cousin to our
That's the weather.
Oh,
It was raining cats in that.
Sir Sam is the king of idiomatic expressions.
Okay?
He's the king, sir. You're the king of idioms.
Third one, correction. The latter part of the Blake's presentation, you guys stole her thunder, right? Regarding this correction part.
Stole the thunder.
What
So
I'm gonna say
many
is, well, there's a sentence here.
Yes. Those are Sam's idiomatic expressions. Take note, guys. He might send you idiomatic expressions. Maybe take time before you can answer it.
University was the keyword that was discussed. Right? When you put an article in front of university, it should be right? Well, it's a similar thing. Sometimes we know that the students have a really critical errors in sentences, or he's showing a pattern of repeating that mistake again and again. But what I want to know, what I want to let you know about with this sentence is, Ralph, could you pronounce this sentence?
How often do you visit the place?
How often do you visit the place?
How often do you visit the place? How often do you visit the place?
That's right.
How often do you visit the place?
I think Sir Sam
All right.
says, how often do you
You all say this word as often, right? Often. When student says, how often do you visit
I
a
get the
place?
picture.
You correct the students, right? It's not often, but.
Both.
Yeah.
It's like
Often is
again and
more-
again.
No,
Exactly.
teacher, that's wrong. When your student said, again, that is
Again.
again.
What's again?
Yeah, what I want to tell you here is that when you do the correction, you need to figure out the exact fact, actually. If you're 100% sure, then you can make a correction.
Yes, sir.
So before you do so, you need to be really, really careful about and sure. You need to discuss this with other tutors and you need to search this everything. And when you are really 100% sure, then you do the correction.
You
We had a nice
Sure, for corrections, because we have British and American accent, right? So in my case, I stick with the American accent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Teacher, it depends. It depends, especially for spellings. Like someone, you get to get some books like airplane. A-I-R-P-L-A-N. It's airplane. But if you go check the, what's this, British or English, A-E-R.
It's
Aeroplane. And then you also have the color, C-O-L-O-R. But somehow in some books, C-O-L-O-U-R. That's British.
How would you pronounce this word?
Impossible.
Impossible.
Yes.
If I read this word impossible, how would you say that? Would you correct me? Impossible.
Impossible. Sort of like,
Impossible.
I think it's really impossible.
It sounds really awkward, right?
Yes, yes.
But impossible is also correct
Correct.
pronunciation.
Sound.
Impossible. Impossible. Yeah. When it comes to pronunciation,
They are both correct. That is one. But there are some cases where you don't have to say like the word say. You should all Koreans say, S-A-Y, say, and then S-A-I-D, say. No, that's wrong. Say, said. One more thing. Yes.
Say and says.
She says. Yes, she says. Yes. Yes. So that's why very important too. But since I have Tagalog accent, so that's my problem.
Thank you, TLC members, for sharing your ideas. And what we're gonna do with those are, let's finish up your PowerPoint presentation with complete details and explanation and the notes. And I'm gonna gather that. I'm gonna put that in one PowerPoint presentation. And then we will have one material for that. And then I need your help for, right, in every slides, if you can just jot down notes of your explanations. And I'm gonna gather that after, I think, 2 weeks. Just put your specific explanation in those slides with what you want to tell me, to present in the presentation, so that we can gather all our ideas. Second up, I need your help with the SOC to empower all other teachers to participate. So you will be like I need all the TLC members to show participation in the SOC, like comments, and we're gonna do the FAQs. So each and every one of you would give me your FAQs sa SOC so that we could, every week, we could discuss what FAQ. Tapos I'm gonna post the FAQ, you comment on that. Pero it is all your ideas, your FAQs. Gather them. so that some other teachers will see that TLC are moving, are helping the company through the SOC. I want you to be seen on the board, because every time I post, there will be 1 or 2 people leaving comments with just saying, wow, nice. Leave a comment, something about the post. For example, words to ponder, health tips, and especially to OC News. Whenever I have a post, every day I post something like TS vocabs, TS ESL tips, pronunciation, all mistakes. I need you guys to be there. So don't forget to leave a comment, not just read. Help me out, and then they could see, other teachers would see that, oh, they're TLCs. They're Tutors Leaders Club members, so they're participating in that kind of activity because this also will be part of this activity. Alright, and the useful materials, if you could find time after hours, after working hours, or you have ideas, just tell me that could create materials for that. Because next month I have a project to be using my old module in easy vocabs for, as what I told Art yesterday, last night. Easy vocabs for kids for level 1, 2, and 3. For example, at the restaurant, level 1, what would a 6-year-old or 6 to 9-year-old, children, kids, what they will say inside a restaurant? What expressions do they like to say? For example, you're inside a fast food, inside a restaurant, or fine dining, a buffet. So what expressions would they use inside of that situation? So level 1 would be easy. I would have like this, I would have mom, I would have like that.
Like useful expressions, daily conversations.
Yes, easy vocabulary. So we will find expressions in phrasal verbs, allocations, and daily useful expressions. With that useful materials, we will have a role play. The teacher will be the waiter, and the student will be the one ordering. That kind of material is very useful. We have used that third module for vocabulary students. It's easy to understand because there will be actual role play. So we have at the airport. The first level is daily activities, daily routine. Find common expressions for daily activities, daily routine. Because our students usually use the same expression when you ask them, what did you do today? What did you do yesterday? What did you do in the weekend? They always say the same pattern. So we need to find another way to express their ideas through our expressions. More expressions, more collocations, more we can find. That's it for my conclusion, and thank you.
As teachers, we can make business, we can improvise, and at the same time make this company we have goals. Since you were chosen, that means together with your business, together with your promotions, not really promotions, actually that is an achievement, and then it was recognized by the management. So we must be thankful because through assessment, they were able to find good teachers like you. So it's not only recognition, but it's more on responsibility. Yes. But this kind of responsibility should be taken notice as possibility. Don't take responsibility as task. But this is another way to learn. So as I heard as I heard all the presentations, I was really amazed because we're going to bring them to the classrooms and we're going to, proper implementation, proper dissemination of knowledge, skills. So that can be really big help, not just to improve, but to share this, ideas that we have in mind to this teacher. But the problem is implementation.
Thank you for being top lecturers. I'm really proud of you. Of course, I'm really thinking because I dream of being your teacher. Try to be this teacher. educator is like different, right? Like different. Like developing profession and many majors because can change the student and their life. Also, great students got education, look positive, not satisfied their job, their life, because they are educated in China. And then all people have potential, right? You believe that? All people can have their own dream. As your family, your friends, or as to yourself, if you have a dream. As I know, many people, they don't have dream. They surrender their dream. Even they don't know, even they can't find it, and then they will all get old. I find that only education can give the people dreams, make their life worthwhile. Alright? We are not just to teach English. I believe that you are more close than their mother, their parents, even the school teacher. They are not that close like you. You influence a lot. They like you, they love you, they ready for your classes, even though they are sick to know that. They would like your classes to study. The talk session, I like the word trust. Trust to students, trust to ourselves. We can show our trust for class. I want you show your trust as now. Okay? I want you to have a vision for good. For forever. Okay? All people get what's love? What's love? Love. Make me down. But don't lose vision. Your student never. Your student will believe you, right? Believe you. Anytime. What do you believe? You could see them again. Forever, right? True. But they remember the name. They remember your education in their life. Then you can hear for working for profession. Let's share the pain. Let's go.
Wait, 1, 2.
Next participant. Ralph Villamayor. Ikaw sunod
Group picture.